In no particular order, here are some of my favorite tips for conducting user interviews. The very first thing you should always do during all of your user interviews is make sure to reinforce and remind your users that you're not testing them, you're testing the product. This is a great way to set the mindset of the scene really well. So this way they will not have any expectations of, oh, damn, I'm doing badly, I'm an idiot. Instead, they will think, oh, this software needs to be improved, which is the mindset you want to do. You want to make sure that you're in this process together and that we're not actually testing the user, we're testing the features or the product that we're working on. And this is a really important first step to keep in mind. Another thing that I really like to do during user interviews is the think out loud method. This is where I always ask the user to think out loud, or speak out loud, I should say more importantly, what they're thinking, what they expect, and what they want during the user testing. This is a good way to get inside the mindset of a user. However, some users will feel uncomfortable with this, but this is something you'll have to get a bit of practice with, and don't be afraid to ask open-ended questions to help facilitate this during the process. Otherwise, you will have some users who are really not comfortable. But this brings me on to my next point, which is bathe in the silence. Silence during a user interview is one of your best friends. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just be quiet, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds, it doesn't matter. Really let the user think about it and actually answer you. You should be talking as little as possible during your user interviews. You really want to get as much data as you can from the user, and sometimes even just sitting in silence and watching them struggle, move their mouse around, whatever they're trying to do with the product, if it's a UI thing or if it's something else. Really watch and see how they interact with your product. This is all super valuable information and it's exactly what you want. So don't be afraid to sit there in the silence if it's required. And the last thing I always try to do is redirect their questions back at the users themselves. One thing that I get a lot during user interviews is questions, and I always try to preface this up front. I will not be answering questions, or as little as possible, during the user interview. This is because, again, like I already mentioned, we want to get information from them, not the other way around. So by answering questions, you will open up a floodgate to questions at every step. Instead, what I like to ask is, what do you expect in X scenario? So whatever question they ask, I usually redirect it with, what would you expect if you click this, or if you do this or that, or what would you expect to be the knock-on domino effect on this point? And this is a really good way to make the user think a little bit more outside the box, and it allows you to have more time so they can really think about it and for you to get the most valuable information that you can. Those are some of my favorite tips when conducting user interviews. If you'd like to see a follow-up maybe with some more tips, or you'd like to share some of your tips, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.